Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express Online. I'm Bansi Kalappa, political editor with the New Indian Express, Bengaluru. We have with us the editor of the New Indian Express group, Ms. Santwana Bhattacharya. We're going to be talking about the big election results which are coming out of Gujarat and Himachal. What does it mean for all of us? Also, we will be briefly touching about the MCD polls in Delhi. So let me start off. It has been Narendra Modi all the way, Prime Minister Modi. It has been who has virtually. It has been a case where nothing can stop the Bharatiya Janata Party in Gujarat. It looks like with a 50+% vote share, there is nothing really to stop the BJP juggernaut in Gujarat.
That is certainly the case. The numbers in Gujarat say it is a remarkable, stunning victory. It has broken Madhavsinh Solanki's record, and how it has touched left front government's record in West Bengal, and it has broken Madhavsinh Solanki's record, and it is undoubtedly a stunning victory for BJP, but that is a victory which has not come easy for the BJP. We must take note of the fact. It is also goes to show that despite the fact that Gujarat is considered to be a completely BJP-ized state, which has been a guard of the RSS and the BJP and Modi Amit Shah's home state, they have not taken it easy at all. The number of rallies that the Prime Minister has done in Gujarat and the micromanaging of each constituency in terms of vote share, in terms of caste equation that Amit Shah has conducted has resulted, plus their undoubtedly dedicated cadre on the ground has resulted in this kind of a victory. And on that, plus the perception and popularity of the Prime Minister cannot be discounted in any way, because Prime Minister, despite all the problems that it is very surprising that the Chief Minister and the entire cabinet was changed. It was almost like a new government 1 year ago. And the incumbent Chief Minister was also not very popular that way. I mean, if Prime Minister, that is Mr. Modi's popularity or record percentage, if you see, if it is 60%, then the Gujarat Chief Minister is something around 30%. There is a 30% gap between the popularity ratings.
Okay.
There is no doubt about the fact that Prime Minister is not just seen as a son of the soil who has brought glory to his home state. The Aam Gujarati believes that he has put Gujarat on the international map. He has got not just projects or important projects there. He has got international leaders to Gujarat. He's a sort of not just son of Gujarat, but pride of Gujarat. So he comes with that kind of a lead and that kind of a popularity level. Does that mean that the state was without problem? No. There was a lot of problems. Unemployment was an issue. Price rise was an issue. Regular question paper leaks was an issue. But the point is, more than the state government, it is the Congress which was seen as a very inefficient opposition, which was not there on the ground for anything. When the Morbi incident happened, there was hardly anything. Look at how BJP and Prime Minister managed the Morbi incident. It is being said, how did the BJP candidate win there? The BJP candidate there was one of the few people who jumped into the water to rescue people. So the entire blame of that bridge collapse has, in the popular imagination, has gone to the local administration and the contractor who had built it. And 3 days later, the Prime Minister himself comes there and stands and takes stock of the situation. So people feel that, he's emotionally invested with the people, with their crisis, with their tragedy. So this is what is the most interesting thing. I remember one senior opposition leader in one of the states where the regional party is in power had told me during a conversation that the difference between Modi and the other opposition party is that his politics is an appeal to emotion, people's emotion, and our appeal is most of the time it is depends on the intelligent quotient. If PM's is depends on the emotional quotient, our appeal on the intelligent quotient. So naturally, he always has a head start. Okay. And that emotional investment and emotional quotient works very, very largely in Gujarat. And that is what has given BJP the kind of numbers it has got this time. Also, the fact that last time there was this big Patidar agitation. And Saurashtra had, which is a stronghold, large Patidar population is there, Patel votes are there. So it has completely turned against BJP. And I remember traveling in Saurashtra and being stunned by what they were saying. They were even saying that we want a separate Saurashtra state. Our Ashmita is not, Saurashtra Ashmita has not been looked after. It was, the anti-sentiment was so strong. But this time, what has happened is the Patidar vote has come back with Alpesh Thakur and Hardik Patel returning, coming back to Congress, or being coming back to the BJP, and also the fact that the EWS quota, which the BJP announced, in which the Patidars are included, has benefited the government to a large extent. Plus, it is Mr. Modi's popularity plus Amit Shah's micromanagement has resulted in the kind of mammoth success and this huge, above 50% vote share. It is really stunning on a government which has been running for 27 years. That is certainly something to gawk at.
Also, if we look at the main opposition in Gujarat, which is the Congress, it has been, we have the Congress which did its best. But in spite of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, there were issues that Congress's election management was really vintage, because there were complaints of disunity, there were complaints of lack of coordination, there are complaints of poor media management because several of the rallies were not covered by the media. So overall, it's a very dismal picture we get of the Congress.
I mean, it is an indication in itself that the chief minister of Rajasthan has to come and hold fort in Gujarat and conduct a proxy election in Gujarat. That is in itself is an indication of state of affairs in the Gujarat Congress. And there is always this sense, it is said that, there is Congress has some very committed voters in Gujarat, and they would vote for the party no matter what. That has led to some kind of complacency in the Congress party. So for which, roll and this 50, 60 seats or 70 seats for granted. Last time there was at least an attempt to win the state. This time they were being said there's a silent campaign, door-to-door campaign. None of the big leaders went. The Gandhis didn't go to a campaign. Kharge went at the last moment. So it was almost looked like a half-hearted thing. And Gehlot was standing there and talking about his, talking about calling Sachin Pilot Gaddar, standing there. It looked as if that, they were not even interested to contest Gujarat seriously. Did the Congress hit the ground with Morbi? No. Did it hit when large scale paper leaks were happening? No, it didn't do. Even on the issue on which Rahul Gandhi is doing Bharat Yatra, they could have done their own yatra there, okay? Because Rahul Gandhi was not similar to with taking the same theme and done a local yatra there on issues of unemployment, on issues of, on price rise, on social amity and all that, social, religious, amity, the message that Rahul Gandhi is trying to carry through. They could have had a localized camp, yatra on the same thing. If you ask the Gujarat voters, most of the time they'll say, you don't get to see the Congress leaders, okay, for 5 years. Only 3 months before the election or 6 months before the election, they try to do something. It is not that, the Rajasthan minister who was sent to, hold fort, he took a house in the house in Ahmedabad, and he tried to anchor the election as much as possible there. But it just didn't add up, because the local leaders were probably not interested in that. They decided not to bring in Rahul Gandhi, so that it doesn't become a Modi versus Rahul, this thing. They said that they were fighting the election on small local issues, but for 5 years you are not to be seen, and suddenly you want to come and champion local issues. It doesn't work like that. And in fact, it is the art which has been hitting the streets now and then, which is what gave them visibility, in fact. Visibility and some kind of a presence in which is disproportionate to its ground level political presence. Yeah.
Okay, but in this election, what we are seeing in Gujarat is the emergence of AAP, because with about 15% vote share, we have the Delhi Chief Minister, Mr. Kejriwal, saying that AAP is now a national party. They have this national status. So, in fact, Sanjay Singh says they've penetrated the Modi bastion. But overall, AAP really has cannibalized the Congress, according to some experts. But AAP says that they have this presence which they have shown, that they have penetrated Gujarat. How do you really look at the emergence of AAP in Gujarat?
Emergence of AAP in Gujarat as a national party is I think inevitable. Okay, inevitable in the sense that it's a young party with an ambition, aspiration, and a narrative. What I feel is happening now is BJP is a strong, ideologically driven party led by a charismatic leader. AAP is driven by a narrative. What is the narrative? The narrative is about delivery of governance at your doorstep, literally fixing your basic problems, like your electricity, your water, your school, primary school, or your children's education, and your healthcare, basic healthcare. That is what that is the formula they're projecting, and with a very ambitious leader at the helm, right? And between these two, you have this traditional Congress, which doesn't provide a very strong counter ideology or a counter narrative to either of the two. Okay, but does that mean that Congress can be AAP can come and take over the Congress and take over the Congress space? It can, perhaps perceptionally, but on the ground it is not possible. What it does is it can only cut the opposition vote. Okay, divide the opposition vote and make Congress weaker. That is all it can do. Okay, and maybe gradually grow into the oppositional space first, and then into bid for power. Okay, that is how they did it in Punjab. Okay, and you have to be present on the ground as an opposition party, win some votes, win some seat, and then you can grow into the contest, aim for the seat of power in a state which is kind of reasonably big. Okay, but what is remarkable about this election is now that AAP has nearly got 13.56% vote, I think, over 30% vote in Gujarat. It qualifies to be a national party, which is remarkable. So because it has a kind of attractive narrative, the urban population, the middle class, does get attracted to the AAP and the idea of AAP.
Also, when we look at
if I can add, but the point is that doesn't always, this vote share and the perception battle doesn't always result in votes. That is why here in Gujarat, their state party leader and the CM face both have lost the elections. Okay, right? Yeah,
that's correct. So also, if we look at Himachal, it has been saving grace for the Congress that they have managed to do well in Himachal, but then they have not done as well as expected by their own standards, because they were looking at a 40 plus number of seats, but by their own standards, they have fallen short.
40 plus, no, I won't say that, because Himachal is a traditional swing states. India increasingly can now be divided into two sets of states. One is like one is a ideologically driven state, which is kind of which is either held by the BJP or being held by a regional party. Okay, like you have Gujarat and Orissa. You can pit the two against each other. And of course, Telangana, we see this phenomena. Andhra, you see this phenomena. And then there are states like Kerala, Himachal, which have swing states. Also Rajasthan, there are swing states. They give only 5 years to a political party, then they change it. So that is how it goes. And Uttarakhand used to be also like that, and there was a fair chance of Congress winning, but it it could not put its act together, and BJP bucked the anti-incumbency trend and came back to power. But you have to understand, though these two states are neighboring, Uttarakhand is a place where you have Haridwar and you have all this iconic Hindu religious places. So it is easier to communalize the vote, easier to address the Hindu sentiment, Hindu fears and all that, and consolidate the vote in that manner. In Himachal, that is not a possibility. That doesn't work in Himachal. Also, the fact that the Congress offered to revive the old pension scheme, OPS as it is called, may have worked there, because there's a large number of people there who go to the armed forces, and for them that is a very big issue. The other thing which may have helped the Congress there is the fact that AAP virtually abdicated from contesting the election. Had AAP fought the Himachal election as vigorously as it fought the Gujarat election, the results may have been different, and BJP may have benefited from that. And also the fact that BJP also had some internal fights, which is very typical. Usually Congress is known for. Okay, you had the Dhumal Anurag camp, and you had JP Nadda camp, and the chief minister's camp, the third one. Okay, so it is only Mandi, which is the incumbent chief minister, the former chief minister or the outgoing chief minister as a stronghold, his area where the BJP has done well. Others, rest of the state, it's been a bit of a washout for the BJP. And this also despite the fact that the Prime Minister did campaign there. Okay, and of course, I don't think they gave it as much focus as they gave to Gujarat, or to some extent Delhi municipal elections.
Okay. Now, if we look at Delhi municipal elections, AAP has had a fantastic show there. In spite of AAP's complaints of delimitation going against them, in spite of AAP's complaints of many of their voters being deleted from the list, still they managed a 134 seat out of 250 seats. So AAP jubilant in Delhi. How do you look at the municipal council polls in Delhi? Because BJP is losing there after about 15 years. So yes, something has seriously gone wrong for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi.
The point is, Delhi BJP does not have a leader of its own. Here, the municipal election was being, the BJP president JP Nadda, the chief ministers of other states were coming and campaigning here. They don't have and you have to understand, Delhi is a middle class state. Population is mostly middle class population with pockets of rural pocket, entirely urban voter with a little bit of rural vote. Okay. With a percentage of rural vote. So what has happened is BJP does not have a leader who has grown from the ground with deep connect with the city. It doesn't have a leader like that here. Okay, that and the fact that Delhi, they haven't really delivered or performed well as councillors in the civic body. The city is in very bad shape. There's no doubt about the fact. And our people in Delhi went for AAP in this case. There was no doubt that AAP was winning. It is only the scale of the victory that was in question. In fact, they were expected to sweep much more than they did. So what the people voted of Delhi thought that let us give AAP a chance. Maybe they have a hands-on governance formula. He will come and do something like he has, he has done with the Bijli Pani bills and schools and all. Maybe he will improve the municipal civic body functioning, right? So it's a kind of their hope vote that has gone.
So also quickly, let me take you to 23, because in 23 we have elections in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh, also in Karnataka. So how do you look at Karnataka really? Because Karnataka is headed for the polls in just about 5 months' time. In about 5 months' time, we're going to have a very important election. Congress, which has been sitting in the opposition in Karnataka, is trying very hard. We have the Bharatiya Janata Party that has changed its leader. We've seen them changing the big Mr. Yediyurappa, bringing in a newcomer, really, Mr. Basuraj Bommai. Do you think this man will be able to hold it in Karnataka for the Bharatiya Janata Party? There's also talk that Bharatiya Janata Party might go in for early polls, because looking at the massive win in Gujarat, there are a few who are proposing that Karnataka go in for early elections as early as February. So do you think Karnataka, Bharatiya Janata Party, where it is in power, which is the only state in the south, do you think they'll be able to really cash in on this massive victory in Gujarat, in Karnataka as well?
I'll be surprised if they go for election, early election. I'll be very surprised. The fact of the matter is the Congress in Karnataka is relatively strong, quite strong. It's not comparable to Congress position in Gujarat in no way, because actually, if you think about it, it was in power till some 3 years ago. Okay, by proxy maybe, or in coalition maybe, but it was in power till 3. So the roots are not dried up. Okay, yet, and it still has strong caste leaders in form of caste leaders who are also mass leaders, which is like both Siddaramaiah and DK Shiv Kumar. You can add Kharge to the equation, and you have other leaders, OBC leaders like BK Hari Prasad, then you have Parmeshwar, and a whole lot of others. Okay, but so, and there is a hunger for power. Both Siddaramaiah and DK Shiv Kumar wants to come back to power. That hunger is a very important thing. Okay, that hunger is definitely an important thing. If you don't wish to come back to power, if you don't have the ambition to be chief minister or claim, how do you move forward? It is often said that Congress bounced back and revived thanks to YSR's ambition to become chief minister and his ambition to win the chief minister's seat once more. Okay, that is what brought the UPA and the Congress back to power. for 10 years. So that is very important in politics. And Congress has very strong pockets of influence in where BJP is yet to penetrate. But BJP is a very, very, very formidable election machinery, which appeals to the voters' emotional quotient, but on the ground actually scientifically manages the caste equations so minutely and so definitively that it is not easy to sometimes break that. Whether it is in Gujarat or in Karnataka, they will go and stitch up a formidable social coalition on the ground, which makes it very, very difficult for its opponent to defeat it. Okay, so the Congress is certainly has a strength to win back the state, but it will be up against a very, very formidable opponent in the BJP. Plus the fact it is a party in power, it will be formidable opponent in BJP, which is in power in the state. Okay, so it can control the narrative to a great extent. What is your analysis and take on the matter?
Well, for me, I think Congress really has a hunger. That is very true. But a certain analyst who prefers not to be named, who was looking at all the seats of Karnataka out of 224, he says Congress is very strong and sure of a win in only 50 to 55 seats. But BJP, which depends only on 85% of the votes, because they don't count the Muslim votes, at all. So it does not count that. So it says that out of 85% votes, the Bharatiya Janata Party strike rate is higher because they are sure of almost 70 to 75 seats. Also, if we look at for the Congress, the social base for the Congress is largely limited because after the increase of 6% of reservation in Karnataka, we've seen that the SC left has virtually gone with the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have seen the entire scheduled tribe, which is almost 8%, almost equal to the Kurba number, they have gone with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So Bharatiya Janata Party has stitched up a very formidable social base, and it has a stranglehold of the Lingayat support. So Congress has not really been able to break into that as well. So with all these challenges, Bharatiya Janata Party looks poised for a good start in Karnataka under Bommai. But the only weakness there being the Panchamshali agitation. Panchamshalis, who account for about 40-50% of the Lingayats, they have been agitating for the past about a year. And the Bharatiya Janata Party really has not substantially answered their grievances. So that is one of their Achilles heel. The other area being that Bommai is really an untested leader. So because after Yediyurappa's change, Bommai has not really done as well as expected. So can Bommai perform? Because his leadership in as far as elections are concerned has not been so good. So that is the other big question mark on the Bharatiya Janata Party. But overall, Bharatiya Janata Party looking quite strong. One worry has been the many agitations, that is of corruption, of some of these agitations hitting them. The Vokkaligas are asking for a larger reservation. Panchamshalis are asking for a larger reservation. The farmers were until 2 days ago protesting. So some of these issues, if they are able to manage, BJP should be on a good note in Karnataka. But Congress not really giving up. Congress really fighting very hard. Unity will be very critical for the Congress, because if we look at Mr. Siddaramaiah and Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, if they stop speaking in parallel voices and if they speak in a united voice, that will help the Congress very much. But is anyone in the Congress prepared to listen? These are questions before us. So I would like to wrap on this, saying that the elections have come to a close in Gujarat. The elections have come to a close in Himachal. they have put out a definite verdict as far as what the voter thinks is concerned. But like Mr. Sharad Pawar says, this is not the mood of the nation. So we will have to wait and see what is in store for us in 24. Thank you for joining us with all these details.
Thank you. Thank you, Bansi.